Alessandro and counsellors from the centre are on their rounds. They go out regularly in an attempt to spot new homeless children in need. In an attempt to escape the misery of rural poverty, according to the Honduran government, 3,000 villagers arrive in the capital each month in the hope of finding a better life. But often, what they find here is worse than what they left behind. Some are reduced to going through the rubbish, competing with dogs and vultures. In Tegucigalpa market, the most destitute live off what they find in the rubbish skip. There's tension between the youths and the adults.
Because this boy was on drugs, he tried to hit me with a metal bar. He hit me twice in order to try and steal my money.
Let me speak.
I was sleeping and he went through my pockets. He stole the 20 lempiras I had to go and buy some glue.
Stop. Let me speak. Why did I hit you?
Listen.
No, wait. Here's MSF.
The argument breaks up as the MSF team arrives. Alessandro and the counsellors manage to calm everyone. Knives and makeshift weapons can quickly replace words in this kind of argument. After a few minutes of discussion, the teenager seems less agitated.
I want him to forgive me for what I've done, but I had a good reason to hit him yesterday. I was sitting on the chair over there and he grabbed me by the throat. I wasn't going to let him get away with that, was I? So I grabbed him and hit him.
My job is to talk to the youngsters, to gain their trust and help them solve their immediate problems. Often it's a violent problem, as we've seen just now. What we see here happens every day on the streets, and we try to prevent it. Even if it's a bit idealistic, our aim is to prevent violence.
C'est notre but, ce serait l'objectif un peu peut-être idéal de préserver un peu et de prévenir la violence. Les enfants ont besoin pas seulement de manger.
Not only do these children need food and medical care, they also need people to help them mentally.
Personne qui leur aide du point de vue psychique. Je pense qu'ils ont beaucoup de courage, beaucoup de force.
I think they have a lot of courage, a lot of strength to overcome difficulties and manage to survive in terrible situations. I find it impressive and it gives me more courage and strength to go on living.
Peut-être aussi à moi le courage de vivre, plus de force aussi.
Back at the centre, it's a busy day for Miguel. After his health checkup, he meets Eulalia Rivera, a social worker. For MSF, it's a race against time. They know if they can't get him off the streets, his resistance to drugs will be overcome. The chances of a successful rehabilitation are greatly reduced once a kid is hooked on drugs.
San Pedro.
Eulalia Rivera has a degree in social work from the University of Tegucigalpa. She joined the MSF team in March 2005 when the centre opened. Eulalia is encouraged that Miguel has been found early and wants to get an education.
Digamos en el caso mío, pues es conseguir documentación para él.
I'm responsible for getting him identity papers and to find him a place in an educational centre that accepts children of his age.
Que pueda tener niños de esta edad. Vemos que es un niño rescatado.
He's a child that can be saved, and it's the right moment to place him in a centre.
Que él pueda ingresar a un centro. Tiene muchas expectativas como querer aprender.
He really wants to learn to read and write because he's never been to school. He also wants to learn a trade in order to work.
Algo que le sirva, verdad, en su vida.
The washing and visits are over for the time being, and Miguel forgets about the streets for a moment. He can be a 12-year-old and play. After her visit to the hospital, Julia goes home. Recently, she's been loaned a small hut where she finds shelter for her baby. It's not much, but she's off the streets and off the drugs. But she has no job. Julia and Miguel are glimmers of hope for the MSF team. But the nature of life on the street means there's little respite. Gloria has just arrived, and she wants to see Alessandro. She needs to talk. She tried to commit suicide last night. At the age of 11, Gloria says she was raped by her brother. Her family, she says, sided with the brother and abandoned her to a life on the streets. Gloria is just 13 and has turned to prostitution in order to eat and feed her drug habit.
Twice I tried to kill myself because I'm alone, because I live without my mother and my father is dead. But it's as if my mother is dead too. Each time I see her, she says I'm no longer her daughter, that I'm a failure. It would be better for me to die because I've got no one in the world.
In our last story in Doctors on the Frontline, we are in Somalia, a country that has no government and where the warlords rule.